Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to our latest episode of the Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening series. My name is Josh. I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master for tonight. And as you can see, I am joined by a number of the main campaign players. I will allow them to introduce themselves now, and I am going to start off with Talia.
Hello, as you say, my name is Talia. I am playing our resident beefling, our Hell's Blessed, Fiend Fallen, that's the one. I will get it right. Fiend Fallen, Paladin, maybe Hero Castillo. Just tired right now.
I've forgotten at this point.
Tired.
Moving on from Hero, we have Tomothy.
Hello, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns, as does Bram Shatteroak, the fighter, warlock, half-orc, all-poppet hero, ? He is also very tired, mostly because he hasn't been to bed, and he has been, drinking all night, got in a fight, worst trip he's ever been on. Actually, this is probably like the 5th worst trip he's ever been on. He's fine. Don't worry about Bram. I don't worry about him, and that's the problem.
And thank you for that, Bram /
You're
Tom.
always welcome.
Finally, we have the. I was trying to think of a really cool way to introduce you there, Sean, but it just completely left my brain. There we go. What Talia said, Sean.
Hello, I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns, as does Kanan Udric. Udric is a orcish druid, although he doesn't know it. He's kind of getting there, though. Certainly certain magical things keep happening whenever he's provoked. His subconscious keeps starting fights. It's not me at all. I think Udric is probably feeling... I don't know. He's probably ambivalent about everything at this point because he's not super involved in anything. I think his main feelings are just kind of trying to investigate a lot of the things that are going on and carry on with his garden.
That's fair. Right, well, before we get into tonight's episode, we have a couple of sponsors and supporters we'd like to thank. Our sponsor for tonight is Phoenix Dice. You can put !Phoenix in chat right now to get a link to their website where they sell fabulous clickety-clack math rocks. They also have some limited edition Roll Together dice that you can get. And if you use the code Roll Together, all caps, at checkout, you can get 25% off your purchase. Thank you very much to them for everything that they do for us. We are also supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a D&D game that you can play on mobile, tablet, console, PC, all of that sort of stuff, where you can gather heroes from all the various different realms of the D&D verse and streaming platforms and novels and all that sort of stuff and battle through waves of monsters. If you put ! Code into the chat right now, you will get yourself a free Electrum chest. So thank you very much to Idle Champions for all of the support you give us. We are also proud to be supported, and we also support Bearded Ladies, a clothing company that is ran by Ed and G, two of Roll Together's veterans. You can check out all of their clothing by following the links in chat or in the description below. And finally, we are also proud to be supported, and we also support Michael Dobson's character art. Mike does some fantastic art. You'll see next to all of our characters right now, they're just above their names or sort of behind their names, their character images. Those were done by Mike. His commissions are currently open. If you put !art in chat, which will appear right now anyway, you can get a link to his Instagram page, and his commissions are open, so please do consider going to him for your artwork. And a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as $1 of your local currency per month by following the links in chat or in the description below. They are fabulous. They are the best. Yeah, any goats that you send must be sent to Tom. They helped us with the Discord. They helped us with the wiki. They are fantastic. And I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. So we're going to go to the title screen and we will be back in a moment. in our last session, which was a bit of a doozy, I think we can all agree on, just a little bit. Kimdak entered the mercenary company with a large number of his Reaver goons. All of our party were in various parts of the room, mainly sat around the table eating food, and Kimdak attempted to enter into a conversation with them. He didn't do as much talking as what he probably should have, and didn't try to do as much convincing as he probably should have. But, that's what happens when you're a bad guy. He also brought Solomon in with him, who was bound by the arms, and was sat down. During the conversation, he was a bit threatening towards everybody, and unbeknownst to Udric, some wither and bloom effect took hold of some of the Reavers, and a fight broke out. Although Udric was unaware that he cast the spell, the Kimdak's left-hand man, Jevrak Rusen, noticed the spell came from Udric, and so therefore attacked into Udric. Fight broke out. Kimdak got some good punches in on Lucian, almost taking him down. Fire was started when it looked like the fight was going to go the wrong way, and it basically turned into an evacuation mission as the mercenary company came crumbling down all around them. For a moment, we thought that we'd lost Lilla, but it turned out that she was able to get into the kitchens and under one of the metal tables before it all collapsed, and is therefore safe. The party have all now travelled into just down the road into the town. Some are staying at the Rusty Pirate Inn. Others, namely Lucian and Udric, have taken Cilia, the wounded elf, to the infirmary to be looked after, and decided to stay there in the waiting room. Bram decided to stay with Solomon in the basement underneath the mercenary company, where Solomon opened the large vault using some sort of electricity, and revealed a large amount of very old books, some in noticeable handwriting that the audience may know from descriptions that I've said before, being Perry's, and others being handwriting that resembles Solomon's. But we are going to pick up, as the three characters that we have here with us at the moment are currently in three separate places. So
welcome.
I just want to add that I rolled a 31 intimidation against Kimdak to get them to leave, and he now knows that I am.
You are now the boss. He did point out that he was impressed that the Harbinger was there. So
it was noted.
It was noted.
Yeah.
I'm just proud of it.
I'm just a normal girl. I'm just a normal girl with my little cat friend.
A single mom who works 2 jobs.
Oh, God. But a slight retcon from the last session. At the end of the session, Solomon said to the party, "Come see me the next day. We'll have a chat," and all of that sort of stuff. We're going to retcon that to Solomon saying instead, when you would like to speak to me, come and find me. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Come and talk to me. So all of the players will have as long as they want, until they want to go talk to Kimdak. So it's not like we have to get everybody back together to go talk to him the next day, because obviously
we want to talk to Solomon. We don't want to talk to Kimdak, Josh.
I knew what I meant. You could go talk to Kimdak if you want.
Oh yes, why don't we turn coat? Hey Kimdak, you burn our house down. You need some guys? I tried to join Kimdak. It was 5 years ago. It went badly for everyone.
Yes, I would like everybody to roll me a d20, please.
Oh.
Shiny new slimy dice.
19. 7.
17 for me.
17. Okay, so
I'm not playing with anymore.
Yeet.
I tested it again, and
I thought you just meant you're not playing D&D anymore. I was like, no, Talia, don't go.
I quit D&D because of this one singular dice.
Wow.
No. Damn dice. Was it a roll together dice?
No.
Good.
It was good.
That's why, because you're not rolling a roll together dice on a roll together stream.
It's not the correct color palette. I love it, and it's so much fun to roll, and it's good in the hand, but it's the wrong color.
That's fair. So with a 19, we are going to come to Bram first. Bram, you have spent the entire night up, sort of drifting in and out of sleep, but not able to actually get a full night's rest as you've been keeping an eye on Solomon. Solomon has come in and out of the vault area. I would very much like for you to hit the exhaustion button, please.
1 level?
I'm feeling kind, 1 level.
That's fair.
Who would you ask?
Oh, yeah, again, if you want to... You're like, yeah, 2 levels of exhaustion. You just had a really rough time.
You take 4 levels of exhaustion as Solomon sucks out your life force.
Well, he kind of already has, hasn't he?
Oh, burn. Literally upstairs.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yes, so 1 level of exhaustion, I think. I think Bram kind of like was sitting with like his back, because there's stairs going down into the basement. He's sort of like been sitting on the... Is the safe is in his office, but that's because that's the other thing that I think Bram has also done a little bit of like just kept checking that the safe's still there. Also, I think honestly, just checking for looters.
That's fair.
You know,
the only parts of the mercenary company, the top surface level part of the mercenary company that are still standing, are the vault that was in Solomon's office. That's still standing, and the chiller in the kitchen is still standing as well. Everything else is flat wood and metal bumps all over the place, like you would expect when a building collapses.
Will the chiller stop working? Because I'm imagining if it's off the electricity, but we're not using electricity, we're using magic. So is it still a cold box?
I would say at some point you probably wandered up there to have a look, and you've managed to get it open a little bit, but there's a lot of rubble around it, and there is a bit of a chill coming out of it, so it is still working.
Bram drinks the rainbow milk because he wants to know what it's like.
You can't quite get to it because there's too much rubble in the way.
No!
Also, Perry would kill you.
Use a straw!
I don't have mage hand. I just think it's very funny if I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry, Peppertea.
Roll me a survival check. For the fun of it, roll me a survival check.
I think with disadvantage now, because is this before I get duper sleepy? Or
we'll say you did this during the night.
Yeah.
So just before the duper sleepiness.
It's a 12.
12. Okay, because I find this hilarious.
Yeah.
There were in the kitchen, there was an area where there were straws that were kept. You're able to find the broken drawer and all of the straws in it, and you're able to fashion yourself a really long straw from them, stick it through the door and into one of the milks, and you can drink from a distance.
How is it?
Very sweet.
I think Bram sort of does it. Oh, you regret my life decisions. And then, like, no one could ever know. And I looked down at Hawthorne, and I was like, between me and you.
Oh, no, I'm gonna tell Perry.
I'm like, I know you don't eat, but do you want to try it?
Go and then walks through the door.
Yeah.
Climbs up onto it and just sort of gets a straw from inside the chiller and starts drinking into it. Nothing actually comes up the straw, but oh yes, it's very sweet. I like it. Goes back to it.
It's just sort of like turning around, like kind of letting my I had this on one of the live streams. I do not know what to call Hawthorne. She's not necessarily my patron. She's not my familiar. She's my associate. Yeah. I just sort of like looking around the rubble of this place and being like, is there anything that I could feasibly like put in my arm in, take some of the food out? Or... No,
the gap is very, very small. You can get a straw in there.
It's
but
straw, yeah. I think okay. I think I know it's not the point, but I let Hawthorne leave, and then I'm going to try and close it just to be like, I'm aware I've probably let the cold out, but you know, there's still food in there. There's a lot of food in there. We were well stocked, so it was like that's probably going to be useful, and also just for the respect of Rodney being like, yeah, I'm not letting your food go to waste. But yes, I spent the night kind of like patrolling. Bram doesn't know about the magic of the safe, but also is like, I'm not getting close to it. I'm just ignoring. I think it's like, if anyone has ever had to do like Night Watch, where it's just a lot of like standing around and being like, that's there. Good. Like, I think that's the sort of like, he's set himself a routine like every hour or so. Just like, I'm going to do a little patrol. Look at that. Make sure the fridge is still there. It is. Yeah. So it's a very restless night, but yeah, I'm doing the good.
And when you go back downstairs after doing your third patrol of the night, the vault is shut and Solomon is nowhere to be seen.
Oh. I swear to everything. If he got kidnapped again, I just sort of. I go over to the vault and sort of like give a little tap to see if he's in there.
And tap on the vault, and you get a little tap back.
You're right in there.
You get one tap.
Good. I go and get because I've said like I've spent time down here, like the library chair. Bram is about to put his feet up on the table and then thinks very bad manners, and so like very politely like adjusts himself in and is like, I think again I cast light, and I think I'm just going to start reading people's files. I know it's intrusive, but I'm curious.
Yeah, all of the files down here have been very well protected from the fire above. Again, this room has been kept at a cooler temperature to preserve everything for a long time anyway. So you can start going through random files that you find and all of that sort of stuff. So yep, that will see you through till the morning as we shift over to Udric, who is currently in the waiting room of the infirmary. As you wake up in the morning, you find that Lucian is not with you. Having a quick conversation with one of the nurses that walk past, you discover that Udric went in to see Celia quite early on, and is just been sitting next to her bed. Lucian, I said Udric, didn't I? I'm getting all the names confused tonight. I do apologise.
We need to have like another window that says absent.
Yeah.
Call the register. But
the funny thing is that you've changed all of your names in the Zoom to the characters you're playing, and I'm still getting them wrong.
It's vibes, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think Udric's just gonna, Lucian's doing his own thing, so it's all good.
Yep.
I think before leaving the infirmary, Udric would like to go and just see whether the gardener was it Roderick? Ronald. Yeah. Would like to see if Ronald is awake, or if not, just like maybe sit with Ronald for a bit.
Okay. As you walk up to Ronald's room, you come across somebody coming out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
They are a elf in appearance, sort of not probably around, quite short for an elf actually, probably around 5'6" to 5'8". Long brown hair that's braided in places with some grey streaks in it, wearing green robes and carrying a staff with a green gem in the top of it. She looks up at you and, hello, have you come to see Ronald?
Yeah, I have. Is that all right? Visitors allowed? Yes.
I've just gone in to change. I've just gone in to change his herbal remedies that he's using to try and get rid of the illness that he has. Sorry, my name is Miss Faction. Hello, how do you do? And she holds out her hand.
Oh, yeah, how do you do? I'm Udric, Garden Udric.
Yes, I'm one of the healers. I'm not. I live in the woods, sort of thing. So I'm like a druidic in nature, as it were. So I do a lot. I come into the town to sell a lot of my stuff to Miss Greta, and I come here and help out. And I'm sorry, I'm telling you my life story.
No, that's very interesting, actually. You know a lot of stuff about like magic and nature.
Magic of the wilds and nature and all of that sort of stuff. Yes, I'm a devout believer in the harvest huntress, the guardian of nature. So,
Oh yeah, no, I'm a big fan of nature. Sorry, I'm sorry. There's just there's things that have been like going wrong for me recently, and
okay.
well, like, so we were fighting this creature. It was part of the Solomon's Adventuring Guild.
Oh right, yes, I know about Solomon's. Yes.
Yeah, there was this dangerous creature, and actually, it was parent of these bears that are always here.
Oh, hello there. She kneels down. Oh, what's going on here then? And you watch as she sort of strokes them, and as she strokes one of the cubs with one hand, the other hand's just on the side of their face, and you watch as like a light green glow appears on her hand. Doesn't touch them, but it sort of appears. Well, now that is very interesting. Oh, full of aether. Beautiful.
Oh,
creatures.
you know what that is?
Yes, aether is it's like one of the rawest forms of magic. It's very rare. It's very difficult to come to. It's very difficult to come across, and it is part of the base form of nature itself. A lot of the more civilized folk have kind of forgotten about it, but it's something that is all around, as it were.
Right. Well, so yeah. Well, their parent was unfortunately infected with it, and did not wish to prolong their suffering. So, but while we was fighting, I found that I was able to like draw the life force out of some people that were fighting, trying to capture the little cubs.
The little what? Sorry.
The cubs.
Right, sorry, your accent made that sound like something completely different. I thought I'd just check.
This is a family show.
That is such a change in the character if you did that. They have
You're changing my character. Come on, Tom.
I was going to say, also, most of our issues have come from those poor little cubs, and you're just like, those little jerks.
They're mere little kids.
My babies.
Do you know it?
Perfectly normal. So I think your accent was perfectly fine. It did not sound rude whatsoever.
Just my hearing.
Josh.
It's just my hearing, sorry.
Anyway, let's let the lovebirds continue their wonderful conversation about Aoife. Carry on.
Well, I'm an engaged man, I'll have you know. Do you know anything about that sort of thing?
Could you just give me the description of how it happened again for me, please?
So there was 4 of these unsavory fellows, and I don't know. We were just, we was getting ready to fight them, and then I could feel like this power coming from me, and it. They all looked really, really gaunt and horrific afterwards, and. I don't know, it felt like I was channeling something.
I don't mean to sound forward with this, but may I touch your chest? Muscles.
I don't think Udric's particularly muscular. He's just like he's been living out in the woods for, as he's found out, 10 years. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, stringy.
Yeah. So she walks over to you. She goes to lift her hand up, and you watch as that same green glow that happened with the bears sort of encompasses the palm of her hand, and she places it. She doesn't touch you. She doesn't touch your skin, but it's not even. It's like a few millimeters off of your chest. And as she places
the undergrowth first.
Sorry.
She'd have to get through the undergrowth.
So yeah, just resting above anything that she could potentially touch. And you watch as her eyes themselves glow that same, just the colours of them grow, what they call the irises grow the same sort of green.
What colour's her aura?
her aura is green, but it starts off as like an emerald green, goes down into a lighter shade, and then sort of bursts out into a more leaf type green. So you get the sense from her that there's a lot of raw nature magic coming off from her. As she places her hand there and her eyes do the thing, her brow furrows a little bit, and she doesn't look at you during this entire process, but as her brow furrows, her head tilts a bit and her fingers go like my fingers currently are, which is almost like the Spider-Man thing. As she looks, and then she pulls her hand away and lets the magic fizzle out and looks up at you. Have you ever been near a world tree sapling before?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to explain to me what a world tree sapling was, I'm afraid. I used to live next to a really big tree.
Have you ever lived in a druid's grove?
Oh, God, I think I can see we're going around in circles here. I lived in an area where there was like a really kind of clear pool and a family of rabbits and a really big tree.
You've been touched by a world tree sapling. It seems to have granted you some magical power that seems to be manifesting within you.
You are?
It's something that... It's very interesting, actually. I've not seen something like this happen for a very long time.
Yeah.
Long before there's a continent to the southeast of here that is known for its... the people that live there are known to be guardians of the world tree, and when the seas were traversable, they would send their guardians out to the different continents to plant their seeds and grow these world tree saplings that would become druid groves or the start of a new forest and all of this sort of stuff. And it seems that you've been touched by one of them.
No.
Oh, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means you've been chosen by it.
I mean, it is kind of a bad thing because I don't know how to tell you this, but the tree died.
Oh, that's very sad to hear. That was probably why there was almost a sense of sadness coming from it, from that magic in your chest. I thought that might have been from something that may have personally happened to you, but maybe it's coming from that power in you.
Yeah, I mean, why not both?
Possibly, yes. I'm sorry, that's very intrusive of me to assume any of this. If at any point you'd like to, I won't push the conversation either. If at any point you'd like to talk to me about it, and she reaches into a satchel on her side and pulls out a wooden ocarina, because that's the first instrument that popped into my head, and she hands that over to you. If you'd like to play Saria's song if you'd like to play a tune into this, I'll hear it and I will come to you.
Oh yeah, I know. I would like that. That would be good.
Thank you. And she hands that over to you. I must be going now. I have a couple of things I need to do. Somebody's been doing some of Ronald's work up near the tree, so I'd just like to go and have a look at it really, and see the sort of work that they've done, and maybe offer them some help at some point. So I'm going to go do that. But I will talk to you soon. Okay.
I don't know if Udric would fess up to it straight away. Can I roll something?
You can roll me a deception check to try and hide your facial features.
That sounds
at the
fair.
mention of it. I shall roll an insight check for her. And guess what? She actually has a snap block.
Oh.
I rolled a 16.
I rolled an 11.
So when she mentions the tree, what sort of face would you pull at that?
It's probably very similar to.
as she clocks you,
Wide eyes for those listening in.
as she clocks you doing that, and she's in the middle of that conversation, saying that she's going to go check on it. So, yes, okay. She knows, but she doesn't outright say it. She's like, I'm going to go check on that, and I hope to see you soon. And she walks past you and carries her on out of the infirmary.
Udric watches her go. And then once she's kind of out of view, we'll go and check on Ronald.
So she's out. As she goes out of view, you open the door to go into Ronald's room, and you can see that he is still asleep in his bed. The herbs and things that Miss Faction had mentioned are on one of the tables that you get on a hospital bed, the ones that sort of swing around, and it's almost like an incense that's sort of filling the room that he's in, and you can see that his breathing's a little bit shallow, and every time the incense goes up his nose, he takes a deep breath in and then breathes out.
I think following the kind of conversation, and it's kind of reminded Udric of the time that he got the bear cubs. He managed to sense the kind of disease, like the corruption in the area. So I would like to ritual cast detect poison and disease, but he's trying to bring that back and like practice, like honing his apparent abilities.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to sit down and you're going to take 10 minutes to begin casting that. While you're taking that time to cast it, we're going to shift ourselves over to Hira. Hira, where did you stay last night? I have an idea of where you stayed, but I just want you to confirm it.
I think we went to the inn.
Yep.
Sharing a room with Tally and Lilla and Sunny. We've all just bunked in together because honestly, I didn't trust anybody else to keep them safe. But early morning, I am kind of getting up, getting ready to go.
As you wake up in the morning, both Lilla and Tally are nowhere to be seen. They're not in the room. They've slept in the room, but they're not in there currently. And Sunny is kind of curled up, half on your face, half on the pillow next to you, sleeping.
Shit, I needed to talk to Tally. And also, I had things to do that I didn't want to bring the kiddo with along. Come on. Leave a note. Just hope they're well, checking in on them. Gonna pick up Sunny. Come on, kiddo. Wake up.
I don't want to. I'm sleeping.
Just long enough for me to get your shoes and the coat on.
Oh, can I have the day off?
Can't leave you by yourself, and I've got things to do.
Oh,
Tally's
okay.
gone, so.
Okay. Sunny, with her eyes still shut, gets out of bed, puts her shoes on, the wrong feet, 'cause she's not got her eyes open, goes to walk out the door and walks into the door frame.
Thanks. Teeth.
Well,
Put your hand up, pick out one toy by feel.
this one.
Cool, that's the one we're taking.
Okay.
Let's go.
And you both head down the stairs. As you head down the stairs of the tavern, you can see the first thing is you hear the sounds of dragging wood on wood. And as you get to the bottom of the stairs, you can see that Tally and oh god, I forgot his name. And Jaren, the owner of the Rusty Pirate, are moving a table into one of the corners. And you can see that Tally has got a pile of papers that she's sort of in on the chair that's there. And as the table gets pushed into place, she walks around to the other side of the table, puts the papers onto the chair, and then sits down and begins getting paper and begin to start writing down on the paper. And as you come down, she's like, "Oh, Hira, hello. Sorry, I should have I didn't want to wake you up. You and Sunny both looked really peaceful. So I sent Lilla to the infirmary after last night's incident. I didn't want her I wanted her to get checked over. She was all, "Oh, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me." But I insisted. So I just wanted to. I'm beginning to get myself set up here. I need to start writing out some of the jobs that are on the job board, and if anybody has any requests or anything, Jaren has said that it's fine for me to operate out of here until the
Charlie!
Yes, sorry, what?
If you had a traumatic day, you don't need to run straight back into work.
I know, but if people of the town, we don't know what the Reavers are going to do, so I just want us to be prepared.
They're not going to do anything for a bit.
Okay.
There's deeper things on. And there was enough of an impression made on both sides last night that I think we have a little bit of grace for a few days.
Okay, I just don't know what to do. It's the mercenary company was my livelihood, and it was just what I mean. You bringing Sunny down into my life was sort of gave me a new meaning. But when Sunny's not here, when Sunny's at school, the mercenary company kept me busy, and I just need to do something with myself.
I'm just gonna kneel down and just kind of you don't hold her hand again. You need to take care of yourself. You're not going to do yourself or any of the rest of us any good if you drive yourself into... It is possible to overwork yourself, and we need you. Anyway, so look here, and I'm just going to take Sunny off my shoulder and just put her down into Tally's lap.
Oh, hello. You can see there's a few tears beginning to form in her eyes and begin to sort of trickle down as Sunny's plonked into her lap, and Sunny just looks up at Tally and goes, "Please don't cry. I can," and she's like wide awake now. She's like, "Please don't cry. I have something for you in my pocket." Looks to you, looks back at Tally.
It's candy.
How did you know?
Because I know everything.
Oh, see, my mum's awesome. Watch as she pulls out one of the jelly bean cookies. It's a bit crumpled and a bit broken, but she pulls it out and she goes, "Oh, it's perfectly split into 3 pieces." Picks out the biggest bit. "This is mine." And hands a bit to Tally, and then hands a bit to you as well.
How about I have some things I need to get organized today. Why don't you do the setup that you need to do in the morning? And then in the afternoon, we can all go visit Lilla and hang out in the gardens and take the afternoon off.
Yes, that sounds really nice, actually. Thank you, Hera. Does that mean I get to stay off of school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We can play all day, Tally. Tally's like, actually, I would quite like that. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to go just check in on Perry and... Well, to be fair, mostly Perry, but Elodie as well, if they're awake. If they're not, then they both had stress times yesterday, but I need to go and do a couple of things. But you scared me. Just...
I did.
I worry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's, as I said, I just didn't know what to do with myself, and I was a bit worried about Lilla. Lilla went through. We all went through a lot yesterday, but Lilla was under all of that rubble, and she's stubborn like her father. I just wanted to make sure that she went to the infirmary to get herself checked out.
This afternoon, we can have a peaceful time, and we can take turns yelling at her.
That actually sounds really fun, as well as going to the gardens. I like that. Let's do that.
Just hold her hand a little bit because... Yeah, just the morning.
Okay, just the morning for the time being until everything is, all the plans are in place for the reconstruction and everything, and just take a few days off. I will do that.
Good.
Thank you, Hera.
You give back what you get, and you've given a lot.
Thank you. Sonny climbs off of Tally's lap, crawls under the table, pops out the other side, looks up at you, and just gives you a big hug. And then before you can get down to give her a hug, she slips back underneath the table, and she starts fiddling with the paperwork.
I still grab the back of her heel. She can run fast, but she can't get away from me that much.
No.
Be good. Don't cause havoc.
I promise. I promise, Mummy, I won't.
Won't to being good or won't to causing havoc?
Yes.
Fair enough. Anyway, I'm gonna go and leave. I do not finish conversations. Before I knock on the door, I just want to keep to Perry and Lily's room. Just want to kind of sense if they're in sleeping or they're out or they're awake.
You can't really tell if they're in there or not. We'll leave that ambiguous for the moment because they're not here. So you don't know if they're in there asleep or if they're out and about.
This is the problem where if they don't know, I would just keep knocking on the door until they respond to me.
Yeah. We'll just say there's no response.
So that's Talia for the rest of the episode. Like,
Yeah.
Hello.
So Tom, what does Bram do? Sean, what does
I'm going to
Udric
leave
do?
a note under the door just saying, to chat. I'll work out the details later.
Yeah.
But then first on my list is going to talk to Bram and Solomon a bit, but mostly Bram.
Yeah, okay. So what we will do is we'll begin to bring some of the elements of this party together as Hera travels up to, where Bram is. He stayed around the vicinity of the mercenary company. So Bram, as it gets to daylight and the light has well and truly sort of broken through the stairway that leads down into the basement now, you can see there's a brilliant light that's come down. For some reason, the coolness isn't escaping out of that doorway. It's all staying in here somehow. But what would you be doing? Would you still be reading the files, or would you have gone back upstairs for another patrol?
I would have tried to patrol every hour. Solomon hasn't come out of the vault.
He's not come out at all, no.
Also, just to... is this a retcon that... Because last time I saw what was inside the vault, but I haven't seen it because I wasn't
You've seen what's inside the vault, but
right, I see him open it.
When you went, you saw him open it, and when you went on one of your patrols, he shut the vault with him inside it.
I sort of... and also, like, every time I'm going out, I'm just sort of speaking into what I assume is a very thick door. Just like, I'm going on patrol. Let me know if you need anything.
He stops responding after a little while. You don't get any more taps or anything on the door. So he's probably asleep or something. But as you go up for a patrol, for your morning patrol, you bump into Hera at the top of the stairs.
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you sleep? How was the inn?
Covered in people.
No, I can imagine. It's been
Truth, I'm mostly sunny.
How's she coping?
I don't think anything's dawned on her yet. I think she's still on adrenaline and excitement, so it's all an adventure at the moment.
That's good, I suppose. Well, we were lucky. Everyone got out, so that's something.
Sorry I couldn't stay and,
No.
So,
You had other things. I just thought that Well, I thought that Solomon needed a bit of company, but as it turns out, he's gone and locked himself in the vault.
Oh,
And
has he now?
yeah, no, that's he. I was patrolling, and yeah, no, he took an opportunity to go and lock himself in the vault.
Cool. Going straight down.
I sort of like sidestep, but like he's just like as she's going down. I was like,
Bam, bam. Solomon, open the fucking door, you asshole.
Just picture that as you go to move Bram out of the way, your legs don't even move. You just slide on the floor.
yeah, just sliding along the stairs. Going,
Yes, you begin banging and banging and banging on the door. There's no response from him, from inside.
Can I make a history check into how he opened the vault?
You can make a history check, yes.
Again, now with disadvantage because I am a sleepy young man. So that's either a 13 or it's a 4. I just like
He did something and it opened.
yeah. I think I was like, I think he's got like a magical incantation to open it, but sorry, I wasn't. It's sort of like I was looking up from a paperwork and suddenly the door had opened. I know that's not very helpful.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Oh, come here. Come talk to me when you're ready. Maybe tomorrow, if you have time. Fucking asshole.
I will kind of like sort of. Now this is interesting because I want to kind of whisper to Hera, but I'm also very aware that I shouldn't get too much. And like I do like a gesture, like "Come, I need to talk to you." Sort of like, "Are you okay with me whispering to you?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, because I think we're over pretty much the similar height, so it's not like like we're both sort of like. I'm just very quietly like, so I did get to see what's in there. It's full of journals, like Perry's, but also, I think Solomon. I think there's a lot more. To be honest, I think Solomon's a lot more timely and experienced than he might want people to know.
Mm. I am also getting that impression.
Mm.
Which is fun. Well, he was a tangential conversation, but I mostly did want to talk to you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Things?
No, that's fine. You know, I literally my dance card is free as far as I know.
You okay? You're swaying a little bit.
I haven't slept. I kept watch. I'll be fine. You know, I'm sure you've been out in the field. You know, sleep when you can, shit when you can, eat when you can. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Good when you can. No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
slightly swearing.
Can you sit on that, please? That bench. It's close to the ground. Thank you.
Aye, boss.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
You know when you need to start a conversation and you don't know where to start?
Yeah. Maybe it's better to just, stop. You don't without take out all the niceties and just get straight to the point.
We need to kill Kimdak, but Kimdak isn't the big problem.
I agree, Kindak needs to die, but who's someone funding Kindak? Because from what I've picked up, he's like the bandit king of these parts.
How much do you remember about being the Imperium?
I'm gonna roll history again here because Bram knows a bit, but I got a nat 20 and a 16, so 16. Well, I'm like, well, no, yeah, no, I know various parts. I know that they're a larger force. I know, kind of like, again, I think because we've had a conversation where you can kind of see that Bram's like, cool, I'm putting pieces together, but I'm not going to be like, aha, this is he's kind of like respecting you to be like, you tell me what you need to tell me. And I think, again, knowing your sort of background, you know when you've got someone who's like, I know how to toe the line here. You give me my orders, I know what to do.
For some reason, And potentially the reason is me, but I haven't. Pestilence is here.
Right.
Funding and being served by these reavers.
Oh. Oh, that is more dramatic than I thought it was going to be. But one rider then, just... Okay. Oh, okay, that is a lot worse than jumped up Bandit King. That's world changing. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so we kill Kendak and then what? Keep working our way up the chain?
Kill or neutralize. And
Well,
yeah.
kill. You know, just nervously rubs his chest. Like,
Oh,
well, kill.
I would prefer kill.
Yeah, no.
Logistically, until we know the exact the grapples that Pestilence has, killing might cause more. He likes to make living bombs.
Oh. Wow, you think he would do that to his own lieutenant?
Oh god, yes.
Okay, well... Okay, so we need to... So this isn't just a full-on assault, so we need to play smart here. Okay. Okay. I mean, as I said, my dance card was technically free, so if we're going to go against... Sorry, if we're going against the Imperium... Oh, wow, that is not how I thought I was going to start my morning. Okay.
Yeah, I feel you more on that than you think you do.
Okay. Right. Yeah. I mean, we've also got... we've got a nice little group of people who probably will... for those who weren't particularly interested in Kendak, they've certainly now got a reason to dislike the man, considering he destroyed most of our stuff. The fridge still works, so if you want to be able to shift stuff, you've got food in there. I'm just hypothetically saying, if you wanted to find out what rainbow milk's like, that's your chance. You might need to use a straw to start with, but
Sugar, I think, would honestly kill me.
No, I think that's fair.
While you're having this conversation, the vault door begins to open partially, and you watch as a head. The first thing that pops out is like the bobble and long part of a hat, and then Solomon's very sleepy form appears in the doorway.
Is he wearing a Willy Willy Winky?
He's got one of those Willy Willy Winky things on and a full like Scrooge dressing gown. And
did he have a nightcap in there?
And he looks to the pair of you as we go back to Udric, who is currently casting. It was detect poison and disease, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, detect poison and disease, please.
So you've spent the 10 minutes doing this incantation, and the spell goes off basically, and you can tell that there is poison, not so much a disease, but there is a poison that is flowing around this man's body at the moment, and that's what the incense is currently combating against. I would say, for flavour and for what it is, the spell itself melds in with your ability to see auras, and it sort of changes your vision slightly so that you can see this man's aura, and it's not... His aura is like a pallid grey, very sort of generic NPC sort of aura. But what does stand out to you is that you can see speckles of purple around his nostrils going up into, and from where you're sitting casting the spell, you can see up his nose, and you can see that there's little specks going up his nose, and you're able to use the aura almost like an X-ray vision, and you can see these particles flowing through his bloodstream.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Now, this is the thing, because Udric doesn't knowingly cast anything. I pretty much build the spell slot from what I think might randomly crop up, and Lesser Restoration, deliberately one I didn't take. But I think he would probably try. Like he would be like, he knows that this is a thing that druids and healers can do. So he might sit there for a bit trying to heal the poison, but he doesn't have it prepared, so it's not going to happen.
So you try a couple of times to get the spell to go through, and it doesn't. And I think you spend
Possibly accidentally do cure wounds.
Yeah, heal him up a bit. Doesn't change his physical form at all because he's not wounded or anything. But after about 10 minutes, the door opens again, and walking in is a blue-skinned Fiend Fallen. So very similar in appearance to how Hera looks, but their horns are shaped around almost like a ram goat's. And
this is the one that we met the previous night. Who checked in.
Yes, this is Dr. Carden. The doctor is like sort of the leader of the entire infirmary. And he walks in, he's got a chart in hand, the chart sort of flipped over, and he looks up and says, sorry, I didn't realise there was anybody in here. I saw you last night, you brought your friend in.
I brought your friend's friend in.
Friend's friend in, yes. Multiple stab wounds and all of that. She's on the mend now. I didn't realise you knew, you did ask about Ronald, but I didn't realise you were that close an acquaintance with him.
Well, I mean, actually, just another friend of a friend. Got a lot of those.
Yes, I mean that's how we get around in the world, just by friends of friends. But falls it over. I was just coming to check to see how he was doing. I saw that Miss Faction came in earlier to redo his herbs and everything. I just wanted to. Sorry.
Indeed, yes.
Yes, and I just need to do some basic tests and things. I mean, you're more than welcome to stay if you'd like to.
Oh, no, I'll get out of your way.
Okay. And you watch as you go to leave, he steps over to the bed, and you watch as he moves over to one of the nearby tables where there's another patient laying in another bed. It's more of a it's a room, but it's more of a ward. There's other people there.
Yeah.
And he grabs some of the flowers, grabs one of the flowers from there and pulls that out. And just as the door's closing, you watch as he walks over to Ronald and he sort of wafts the flower under his nose. And you watch as Ronald sneezes violently. And he's like, oh. And as the door shuts, you went, he didn't have hay fever before. And the door closes.
Did I do that? I don't know. Okay. Random question.
Yes.
I'm assuming that having cast Detect Poison and Disease, I'm not just going to focus on Ronald, especially if, like, for a while it's not happening. Do I clock any of the other beds? Are they similar afflictions?
They're going off of... so in total, there are 4 beds in that room. 3 of them have got occupants in them. One of them's obviously empty. But the other 2 occupants, you get a detection of disease from one. And from another one, they've just got a common cold.
Okay. What colour are their auras, Josh?
Their auras are also NPC grey.
Available in all good Dulux stores.
Yeah.
You get the purple when you become a little bit more important.
For your note, Carden's, the doctor's, is a purple and blue aura.
Purple and blue? Fancy.
Purple and blue, yes.
Although isn't purple the bad aura? Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to impose. So Udric would just kind of be on his way. Probably would think, should he check in on Lucian and then decide to give him space? So yeah, we'll just kind of head out of the infirmary.
Head out of the infirmary. Where would you like to go? Is the question. You know, everybody stayed at the Rusty Pirate. other than Bram, who stayed at the mercenary company. But there's also the gardens you could go to. I mean, Merkstead is your oyster. Where would you like to go?
Well, so this is the thing. It had been visit Ronald and then, go do some gardening. But now he knows that Miss Faction went there, and it's like he doesn't want to bump into her, so he's kind of he's a bit at a loss now. So I think he'd probably actually make his way back to the not to make your job easier or anything, but he would probably actually go to the burnt down mercenary guild.
Yeah, makes my job easier. Thank you so much.
We're going back to the gardens for the afternoon anyway.
Yep.
I always love these characters going, I need to avoid an awkward conversation, just a little bit of social awkwardness. I'll just go back to my burned out house. That's easier. I can work with that.
The wreck of my life is better than 30 seconds of just, oh yeah, hi, bye, cool.
Yeah. Oh, someone did a really good job on this. Yeah.
So we will say that all of what you did happens within the time that it took Hera to get to the mercenary company. So the conversation that Hera and Bram have give you a chance to get to there as the vault opens and Solomon's head pops out of it. So you're just coming down the stairs.
I probably wouldn't go downstairs, but if I heard voices down there, I might poke my head down there.
Yeah. So you hear the voices down there, and just as the door opens and Solomon's head pops out, and he looks very, very sleepy. As we come back to that, and everybody's now together.
Mm.
Did you just say boo? Did you boo everyone being together?
Love you, Redrick. I didn't want you for the next personal conversation for 5 minutes.
I can be 5 minutes late. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. We'll meet you 5 minutes. 5 minutes later.
Udrick approaches and then, for no reason, decides to take the pretty route.
I tell you what, actually, as you are walking towards the mercenary company, you hear a shout coming from the general store as the person behind there goes, Mr. Carnan, could you come here, please?
Oh, sure. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Are you heading to the mercenary company?
I'm heading to the ruins of the mercenary company.
Would you mind giving me a hand with some stuff, please? Please follow me. It leads you around to the back of the store, and you can see that there is a cart with a single horse attached to it, and in the cart is planks upon planks upon planks of wood, tools and nails, and there's about 4 other people that you've seen dotted around the village at times around it. We're on our way to offer our services to the mercenary company and begin helping with the rebuild and clearing everything. So would you be able to help us? Would that be okay?
Well, yeah, that's very kind of you. Yeah, sure. What would you like me to do?
Well, we've got the cart's pretty full at the moment, but we've got some other bits that need to come up as well, and it's a bit, to be honest, a bit pointless for us to empty the cart up there and come back for these small items. So would you mind bringing them up with us as well, please? The other guys are carrying, or the other people are carrying some bits as well. So just these last little bits that need to be carried, please.
Sure. I'm going that way anyway.
Fantastic, thank you. And basically what you are left to carry is all of the belts with all of the the builder's belts with all of the tools and everything sort of put in them and everything. So you sort of sling that over your shoulder and you walk up with everybody else. That gives us the 5 minutes for Hera and Bram to have their conversation.
As the door opens.
As the door opens and Solomon's like, it hasn't said anything, but it looks very tired.
Push Solomon in.
Push him in and the door shuts again. No, I'm joking. You're pushing him into the vault and entering the vault as well. Yeah.
Can I take from context you just want to talk to Solomon? You don't? You just want private
privacy? You're coming with me.
I'm like, she needs help. Oh, here I go. Yeah.
I need wisdom saving throws from both of you, please. As you enter into the vault.
And Solomon sucks the life force out of you.
10.
19, bitch.
I wasn't expecting this, and so I'm just like, oh.
Talia rolls a 19, bitch, as we go to break. No, joking. So, with a 10, Bram, you are going to take 4 points of non-lethal electrical damage. Lightning damage. As you feel a numbness sort of come over you, is that there seems to be a barrier that's trying to prevent you from pushing through it. But with Hira's strength, and Hira just barges through it and just bursts through this barrier. She basically grabs you, pulls you into it. You go like that, and then you're pulled through.
Ow.
And Solomon, wide awake now, looks at you. What are you doing? Why have you pushed us in here? You shouldn't be in here.
To have a conversation about secrets and also parents.
Secrets and parents, okay.
I'll get the photo. Go in my pack.
You
Get out.
An apology.
Yeah.
And a bit more knowledge about where they've come from and where they've gone.
Right, yes. That makes sense. We can sit down and have a conversation about that if that's what if that is your desire, yes.
There's a reason I've tried to do this early on, so we can avoid everyone else getting here. So we can have a conversation about redemption.
Understandable. Privacy is key. What is it you'd like to know exactly?
Why? Why the secrets? Why do you know so much about where people have gone, where people have come from? You've never told any of us.
I learnt from a very early age that there is only a certain amount of trust that a person can have within their being, and only a certain amount of trust that they can share with others. I met members of people's families who are currently part of the guild. Not everyone, but some of. And that trust extends down. It's almost inherited. I trusted Bram's parents. Bram inherited my trust. They trust me. I trusted them. It was all inherited. The same with looks to you.
Still not buying that one yet, but I know that I saw Sunny's.
Manic and Jessen. Very, very lovely people.
They were good people, yeah.
Very good people. I'm sad to hear what happened with them in the town of Halbeck. I'm glad that you were able to get Sunny out. It wasn't until a few days after you arrived that I realized who Sunny was. So I thank you for that.
I was half the problem there, but sure.
There is a lot of stuff that I do need to tell you, Hira. And a lot of it you're not going to like. Bram, if there are any questions that you have about anything that I asked your parents to do,
I mean, multiple. I assume my father wasn't just killed by harpies, considering I watched Purple consume him. This is this ether stuff that people are talking about, right?
Yes.
How long has that been? That's not a new thing then. That's been around a while.
Aether is the root of all magic in the world. All magic has evolved or been crafted from Aether. It started off as it then formed into the 7 elements that we know. And then from there, it has branched off, people learning to control magics and form it into other elements like ice and lightning and all force and all of that. But Aether, the way that Aether affects people, the way that it makes people born with magic, it's a mutation. And at a base level, Aether can mutate people, can make people at one point, somebody may be perfectly healthy, but at another time, the Aether itself could mutate them and suddenly they could have an allergy to something that they once loved. Or it could change their physical appearance to that of something grotesque, like the report I read on the bears. Or it could have the opposite effect and it could do something positive to them. I know of a gentleman up north who was born without his left arm, and through some experimental Aether tests, his left arm grew. However, he was overexposed to the Aether and mutated into something else, and is currently being held up in the Runeforge Mountains because of it. In your father's case, the harpies had been exposed to Aether somehow. I don't know the details of how they were exposed, through a water source, through finding something deep within the mountain. I don't know. But it meant that their attacks became poisonous. And we didn't know how poisonous it would be. I want you to know, Bram, that I did not force your parents to do the job. They gladly accepted. If I had known that the harpies were as dangerous as they were, I never would have sent them to do that job at all.
22 insight. Not that I'm doubting him, but I'm just being like,
He is being truthful. He's being dead honest about that.
I think
there's not even a flick. The only thing that flickers in his expression is regret.
I think both of the others can sort of see like attention leaving Bram a bit, where he's like, right, okay, so they were doing good. It wasn't like you didn't send them out to do something stupid like get an artifact or anything. They were legit. My father legitimately died helping people.
It was twofold. The first was, yes, the harpies were becoming a problem for the town and they needed to be dealt with. But there was also an item that needed to be retrieved from the area nearby. It was it had nothing to do with the harpies. It was a temple that was nearby that the item needed to be retrieved from. Their goal was to go to the temple, retrieve the item, and then go up the mountain and deal further up the mountain and deal with the harpies. So it was a 2-in-2 mission. They managed to retrieve the artifact. They got the item. They managed to do that, and upon going up to fight the harpies, they got ambushed by them, and that's where it happened.
Right.
That's when your father was injured.
Okay. Right. Well, I mean, I appreciate knowing that now.
It was your mother's wish that I didn't share with you the details of the mission, which is why I've never spoken to you about it before.
Well, I haven't seen you in many years, Mr. Solomon.
That as well, yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. This is a lot to take in, especially considering I haven't rested. But there's a lot. What can you tell us? Why the item? What do we like? What, and again, what Kimdak wanted from us? I'm assuming that, you've got things you want us to work towards. Are we making a weapon? Are we blowing? I really don't want to blow up the world, Mr. Solomon, I'll be honest. It's a good place. It's bad, but there's nice bits. I don't want to destroy the world.
Definitely don't want to blow up the world, no.
Good.
I want to stop Kimdak from gaining access to what is inside the temple at the top of the mountain.
I quickly flickers to Hera, considering we just had a conversation. I'm like, yep, okay, I'm on board. Okay.
The amulet, you mean?
The amulet, that's not a part of... That is part of a key that is needed.
Right, for the temple.
For the temple, yes.
Okay.
There are 7 keys that are needed. The amulet was one.
Of course there is. It's mythological stuff. It always comes in 7s or 3s. Okay. And elements. Oh. Bram does like a little spin. Really like still annoyed, but also like really like little child. Proper adventure kind of like. Right, of course.
So this is where I need to go and share some secrets. Bram, how much do you know about where your mother hailed from?
Well, until I started reading those notes, which I believe was yesterday, I really didn't know much. And now I'm putting together information I've heard from Scuttlebutt for people who are like, these are invaders. I think I'm probably going to have to... I think the thing that my father would say is it's good to sometimes shut up and listen. So, tell me about it.
I'm going to look at Solomon first.
Yes, please continue.
I'm fine. Your mother is my brother's sister? Adopted brother.
Oh, so we're adopted cousins?
At the very least. I am not trusting that photograph.
Well, no. But I mean, like the mercenary guilds, we're all kind of like. I mean, Sonny's technically like my adopted cousin by the same sort of like connections. So
different connections.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I like having talked to you. I'm not pushing anything here. I was about to say nice to meet you. I'm very here. You gotta forgive. I'm very tired. A lot's happened. I'm gonna shut up. Right. Okay. That's the connection. That's.
My. One's missing, and the other one, someone is here. Trying to take over the world with your reavers.
Brad was quietly doing maths. Where he's like, "Okay, now I've got that." I was like, "She's not pestilence." So he's like, "She war or she deaf?"
Actually, that's not quite right, Hera. Yes, it is true that one of the horsemen is missing. There are currently 2 that are here. And that's where we're going to go on break.
Surprise!
I wasn't counting that. Okay. I'm going to out.
We're going to go for a very quick short rest, and then we're going to come back and dive into that a little bit more. So please do come back and join us. Watch all of our stuff that's in the breaks if you'd like to. Make sure you get up, stretch, and grab yourselves more drinks. We will see you soon. Goodbye.
And turn up.
Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rests, refilled all of our drinks, and we are ready to dive back into the second half of tonight's episode. In the first half, we had all of our players wake up in their various locations. There was a lot of flirting going on. There was some conversations and some angry shouting at Solomon. We come back into the session now as Udric is ascending the small hill that leads up to the ruins of the mercenary company with the owner of the general store and a bunch of other people from the town ready to begin starting repair work. As you get to the top, you can't hear any conversations or anything that are happening, but you can see that there looks to be some wood moving around near where the chiller area is. And as the cart's sort of put into position for stuff to start getting offloaded, you watch, you see as Rodney comes out from behind the chiller on one crutch, bending down, picking up a piece of wood and throwing it into what would have been the garden, sort of like where the entranceway to the underground is, sort of thing, like the backyard area. Sort of throws a bit of wood and bends down, picks another bit up and throws another bit, and he's trying to clear as much of the wood away as he can, and he sees you first, and then everybody else is like, "Oh, hey, Udric. Oh, hello, everyone. I didn't expect there to be people up here helping to clear the wreckage."
Oh, we didn't expect to see you here either. You should be resting up in the infirmary.
Well, it's fine. It's just the burns are all superficial, and my leg is my leg. It will always be the way it is. I just need to get the things for it sorted out. But I just wanted to get started on clearing and see how much of the kitchen stuff I can save.
I see. What's this fancy stuff that your leg has?
Is this special type of what did Solomon call it when he gave it to me? Magitech stuff. So I was wounded in the Rising. I was wounded in it. This here is a really bad bite mark, and it threatened to. I got poisoned from it, and it was threatening to turn me into one of them undead. So I would have, started going on other people. But Solomon. It wasn't Solomon. It was some of his friends. O'Brenna, her name was. She brought me to Solomon, and Solomon healed up my leg. I've worked for Solomon in the past, done a few jobs for him, and when she brought me to him, my leg was all black and like necrotic-y, and I was beginning to show signs of turning into an undead. But he was himself and Mary Lighthoof were able to heal me up using herbalism and all of that sort of stuff, and in order to prevent any further spreading of it, because once you got that infection in you, there was something special about the undead from the Rising or something, but basically you never lose the infection. So the metal contraption that Solomon got from the city up north helps prevent the spread, and he lifts his leg up and you can see that his leg is starting to turn black. I need to get it charged up soon and reinserted, otherwise I'm gonna
So how far along can it prevent you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, what do you mean? I don't quite understand.
So you're obviously not particularly far along in the undeadification, if you will. But
I never became an undead, no.
So that would be kind of considered too late.
I don't actually. From the conversations that I had with both O'Brenna and with Solomon, when somebody becomes infected with this thing, it slowly builds up within your body like a really bad disease or a virus, and eventually it kills you and then brings you back as an undead. And as one of these particular types of undead, you can then infect other people. If you die while infected with it, or become infected with it, or your body becomes infected with it after you die, then you become one of the undead as well, except for there's a little less up here.
I see. That's in.
And there was conversation. Solomon did sit down with me at one point. We did have a little heart-to-heart because he was a bit worried about me, because I've worked for Solomon for a while, you see. And he did say that there is a way to fully reverse an undead being undead, and still, but not returning to your original state, if that makes sense. So if you were to cure somebody who was an undead who was dead when they became an undead, they don't revert to being dead, if that makes sense. They would be alive. There is a way to do it, but it takes a lot of It takes a lot of herbalism
Right.
skill and some very rare ingredients that
I was gonna say a lot
Solomon
of
doesn't
money.
have. A lot of money, or venturing to dangerous places.
I see. Well, it's good to meet another survivor of the Rising.
But were you in the Rising? Did you get bitten?
No, I didn't get bitten. No. I only recently found out that I was actually in that war.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't have a name for it.
Oh yeah, no. The name for it came about, I'd say, about 3 or 4 years after it happened. So people started referring to it as the Rising.
Yeah, no, I was out of the world at that point.
Mm.
Let's hope that we can get that missing part for you.
Yeah. I need to speak to Tally to see if we can get the key to Goggle Springs and go in there and see if they've got any equipment in there.
Yeah, I think we all need to speak to Tally.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to carry on doing this. And he bends down, picks another.
No, I'm going to start taking the wood off him.
Well, I can pass it to you if you like.
I'm trying to prevent you from doing anything and injuring your leg anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Right. I will avoid bending down. He walks through the rubble to where the kitchen was and begins clearing off the counters.
All right, yeah. Well, maybe, I mean, there's quite a few people around. Maybe you can whip something up.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at doing that. So I can
Maybe
see
nice
if
salad, something cold.
Yeah. If I can get access to the chiller, I've got some stuff in there that I could just sort of like heat up. So if we could clear this area first, then I can get in there. Why is there loads of straws all over the floor?
I will start clearing things away.
Okay, so you begin clearing things away as our vision sort of moves away a little bit and descends downstairs, and we end up in this brilliant vault where Solomon has just said to Hera, "I'm sorry, Hera, your information is incorrect. There are currently 2 horsemen in the area, not 1.
Explain. And also, why the fuck didn't you tell me?
It's a piece of information that I've only recently come to know about, and it's not something that had been confirmed until yesterday. So that's why I didn't bring it to you straight away. I wanted to make sure that what was being leaked to me was actually true. Last thing I want to do is to give false information and potentially jeopardize everybody's safety. Looks up as you can see, he looks up as if looking through the floor at the wreckage above. Doesn't always work in my favor.
I think we also just need to check. Like, Kim Dak didn't hurt you, right? Because we haven't really checked in since you came back. He didn't. Good. Just wanted to check.
No reason for Kim Dak to hurt me. He asked me questions about the vault, how to get into not the vault, the temple, sorry, and how to get into it. Asked me how far along I was with the items that I was trying to find to get into it, and if I discovered any more about how to get in there. But I didn't tell him anything.
And I assume that's what he wanted from us, right? He wants these items, for our. Well, he wanted us to go on little jobs for him. And I assume it's not just beating up the inn owners.
No,
or anything.
yes, the jobs that I have prepared for your group, and he gestures to you and sort of encompasses everybody else in on that as well, would be to find these particular items. If Kim Dak had given you the missions, it would have been more get these items by any means necessary as quickly as possible. If it involves you having to kill people to do it, then do it. Whereas mine would be my missions are more along the lines of where these items are, if they're being held by people, negotiate with them to try and get them, never steal or anything like that.
Well, I suppose the thing that most people don't think about, if it takes 7 parts to open it, if we can all just scatter and make sure those parts are never reconvened.
That's only part of the lock.
I was going to say, people have a nasty habit of being like, we've got all these things, let's all bring them to one place, and next thing you know, you get jumped and the door's open. But
you watch as he lifts his hand up and twists his hand, and the door's fully shut.
oh, no, it's a lock-in.
It's no sound can escape here, so I don't want anybody else to potentially overhear.
Right, that makes sense.
I did tell Tally and Sunny that we'd go and hang out with Lilla this afternoon.
It's fine. While I tell you the information that I have, I don't want anybody else to overhear it. I will share it with the rest of the party as well, but for the moment you are the two that are here, so you are the two that I will tell. The thing that I have not told Kimdak is that the seven seals that you need, the necklace being one of them, is only part of the puzzle to get in. That's not how you get through the initial door. It's how you get through another door that's inside the temple.
Oh.
There is a different way. There is something else that is needed in order to get through the first door, which is where we went wrong the first time. The first time when, and I don't know if any of you have heard or been told by Peripater about what happened to them. The first time Peripater, we tried to use the newly discovered, I say newly discovered, but we'd worked out, Peripater had worked out how to synthesize Aether.
Oh.
And we tried to use that magical energy in order to get into the temple itself. But we did something wrong, and it propelled that back into Peripater, which caused a rapid mutation within her body, and for her to take on the form of a dragon that we then had to take care of because she would have destroyed the town.
Oh. Okay, I can probably see why Perry's being a little bit... Well,
this will be something that I'll repeat to Perry as well.
No.
He's fucking pissed at you about that.
Yeah.
I fully understand that.
I don't know how much attention you were paying. I don't think she really cared about the burning of this place. I think you're going to have to really apologize.
I've tried to keep my cards to my chest about a lot of things, not because I want to be secretive, but more because I've, in my own, you might say, twisted way, I'm trying to protect everyone the best that I can. And after the incidents of last night, I can now see that I was very short-sighted when it came to that. So I apologize.
Everyone fucks up. You at least fucked up. Admittedly, you fucked up a lot, but you did it trying to do something that you thought was right. Redemption is something we all gotta strive for. You're not the worst of us in this room.
So Bram looks mildly offended and then has a second going, it's not me. No, you're right, Miss Sal. You know, you did it for good reasons, and I mean, fortunately, no one was badly hurt last night. And we can supposedly, I assume, whatever truce we had with the Reavers is off the table now. Is it full out war?
I don't know what Kimdak's reaction is going to be to what happened last night, other than burning down the mercenary company. So I don't know how it is going to affect the town. So my only thing would be that we all need to be on high alert.
Right. There's not really like a town watch here or anything. There's no one we can...
There is a town guard here, yes, but they're very much been told by the mayor of the town to not interact with the Reavers. But now that the truce has been broken, they might step in to help. So I will need to organise a meeting with the mayor.
All right. Well, that'll be... I mean, to be honest, I am worried about the town, obviously.
That's my primary concern at the moment, is making sure the town is defended before anything else happens, before I ask any of you to go off and help find these seals or find ways to get through the first door or anything like that. I want to make sure that the town is protected.
On that note, we were talking about something. We got a little... Who else is here apart from Morty?
The Horseman of Pestilence is here. The Horseman of War is on their way. I've also heard rumors that the Horseman of Death, or there has been a new Horseman of Death appointed. And
I don't think they're any good.
if the previous Harbinger was anything to go by, no.
Okay, so 3 horsemen, that's... Yikes.
No, 2 horsemen. The other, Death has been appointed, but it's not been sent.
Well, yet. But...
I mean, if we're putting cards on the table, Mortimer's all but desperate and begging me to come back.
That would make sense.
I mean, seeing you yesterday, you were suitably terrifying. I can see why. You might not take that as a compliment, but it's meant as one. You know.
I'm a monster.
Well,
no,
I gesture at my eyes. I'm like, well, you know.
No, you're someone who tried to do good and it didn't go well, and suffering the consequences.
And you're someone who's done some bad things, but now's taking care of a child that needs you. You know, path of redemption. I throw it back at you.
Slate's not clean at all. But war's coming?
There is a very high chance that there is a war coming. And the kingdom itself as a whole, it's very difficult for the Imperium to attack this kingdom, as it were. We have the deserts to the southwest where the Volthiri, the country of Volthiri to the southwest where Abacathus is, and there's no way for them to penetrate their defenses. We have a lot of high cliffs, and they would need to sail all the way around the continent in order to attack Merkstead here by boat. So their only other option is infiltration, and we've believed for a long time that their primary focus was taking land up north, but it seems they want something else from down here, and I'm guessing it's from that temple.
Right. What is in there that's so... What do they want? Do you actually know, or do you just know it's something powerful?
I know it's something powerful, but I can't remember.
Right. Memory loss. Interesting. Okay.
I think I have to apologise to Perry really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Help them find their books.
Well, I mean, gestures around. I mean, this is not a bad peace offering, to be honest.
Gestures to the left side of the room. All of these books were written by a form of peripateia. However, these books do not hold significance like the ones that are on the outside. These will hold significance to peripateia when they are able to read them, but in terms of world-altering importance, those are the books that are outside at the moment that we need to find.
Okay. Wait. Okay, that's extra. So we need help. Okay, protect the town. Help with the books. Prepare for war. That's normal Monday, I guess.
I think we might have a bit of time before anything happens, so we just need to be ready.
Right.
Need to get the mercenary company back up and running,
Sure.
I have some jobs that I need doing when you're all ready. I think if I know Kimdak, he's going to go quiet for a little while.
Okay.
You've got grace. We're taking the rest of the week off. We've been doing something every single day.
It's been very intense.
And we need to rest and recuperate and upgrade, or we will not be fit for any kind of fight.
That is understandable. Allow me to assist in that. And he walks off down this room is large and is similar to the room outside. It's very cool in here. And it's got bookshelves upon bookshelves that go down. One thing you do notice is that your hairs on your arms and on your neck and on your hair, wherever you've got hair, is slightly pointing upwards a little bit, and you've got like a very static feeling. And if you were to look up, you can see purple and blue lightning every now and then just jutters across the ceiling a little bit and sort of heads down where Solomon's walking. And as he disappears from view into darkness, he comes back a few moments later, and he's holding 6, I had to count how many players there were on the top of my head there, bags in his hands, and he hands 2, one to you, Hera, and one to you, Bram. There's 200 gold in there for the missions that you've done previously that you haven't been paid for, as well as compensation for the incident that happened last night.
Appreciate it. Okay, that's a good start.
I have gold here for everybody else.
I added too many zeros.
I
How
am a
many?
millionaire.
I added
Dives into a pool of coins.
I had a whole bunch of zeros. Luckily, I did it before I added anything, so I could count it properly.
Here a McDuck.
Make people into a swimming pool for Sunny to play in.
And quite literally, life is like a hurricane because of how
Yeah.
quick everything's happened.
Mm.
Here in Merkstead. Anyway, I will hand you these pouches as well. There's one for everybody. If you would, I fully understand that there will be members of the party that might not want to speak to me straight away. So if you wouldn't mind handing these out to them when you see them, then
Sure.
and I will wait in here until they're ready to talk.
All right. Do you? I mean, you obviously have like a bed in it. Do you have food and water in here? Is it secure?
I'm perfectly comfortable in here. It's
Right.
fine.
Okay. Do you want us to get you anything?
No,
Sure?
I'm fine.
sure?
Ma'am. I'm fine,
Okay.
thank you.
Right. Okay.
Do you have a way to be more responsive to anyone knocking on the door?
I could move my bedding closer to the door.
Do that.
I should do that.
Because if Tally comes and wants to go in to check in with you, and you ignore her,
Tally is not allowed in here under any circumstances.
yes, but she's
Oh.
to knock on it and then have you come out.
Yes.
So again, if she knocks on that door because she needs you, and you ignore her,
I won't. I'll bring my bed up to the door so that I can hear anybody who wishes to speak to me.
good man. Step closer to redemption.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. Okay. Well, I appreciate Mr. Solomon. I do have more questions about my parents and things, but I don't think now's quite the time. And I think, to be honest, I have been down here all night, and I probably should go get some fresh air and actually eat. But I kind of like tend to hear it. It's like, if you got any more, I'm happy to. I'll give you the room if you got anything else you want to say. Looks at the door like, I don't know how to open this.
I'm sorry. And Solomon sort of gestures with his hand again, and you watch as the electricity that was going down into the blackness sort of reverses, comes into the door. It sort of causes a static shock, and the door opens, And as the two of you leave, Solomon follows behind you as the door shuts, and he says, Udric is upstairs.
All right.
I have a request for the three of you. So
Okay.
I will follow you upstairs so I can talk to the three of you together.
Okay.
Somehow he's not in his pajamas anymore. Or his nightgown.
Well, yeah, he did go out of sight for a bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm now wearing my going out pajamas.
This guy's self, he's naked all the time.
He's just had like a 4-leaf clover there. That's it.
Convenient blurring and like positioning
Yeah.
of pens and things. Yeah.
Like what you can do with a hero forges. I'm not doing that. Anyway.
Kobolds, get rid of it. Shame on you.
So you head upstairs
Mhm.
with Solomon, and as soon as you get to the top, you can see that there are a number of people who you may not know by name, but have seen around the town, who are moving large amounts of wood from the wreckage and piling them up in what would have been the backyard area. You can see that Rodney is leaning on his stick in what would have been the kitchen area and has cleared down and wiped down one of the two of the worktops that have slightly bent out of shape. And you can see that one of the general store owner has come up to him with a large mallet, has sort of climbed underneath and has begun undenting the table while Rodney is beginning to prepare food for everybody else. The chiller has been completely cleared, so the door to that is open, and Rodney goes in and out, pulls out a lemon cheesecake, puts that down, and goes in and gets some other bits of food for everyone and begins preparing some bits. You can see that the hob that he uses to cook on is badly damaged, but you can see that a couple of people are beginning to try. There's a lot of construction work going on, and Rodney is beginning to try and prepare food for him. And what would Udric be doing as all of this is going on?
So Udric's still got the gardening kit that he'd had, so I think he's kind of pulled the shovel out and is using it to shift rubble out of the way so that it's kind of out of the kind of foundations where possible, but at least kind of out of like walkways. And yeah, it's just shoveling.
Yeah. Okay, so the three of you sort of lock eyes with each other as Hira and Bram come up to the top. So I'll let you give that to you.
Yuri? Oh, how do you sleep? How's the inn?
Oh, I didn't go to the inn. I was in the infirmary, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, me and Lucian.
Oh, I didn't realise you two were badly hurt. What, you're right?
I mean, Lucian got beaten up very badly by...
No, I gestured to the shield, like, no.
And I got stabbed. You know I got stabbed, right? Completely unprovoked.
Absolutely, no one could have seen that. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to, like, when I get stabbed, I just, like, go to sleep in a corner and it sort of gets better. But I suppose actually going to a doctor is a good idea.
Ram has not slept, apparently, so not missing a lot of cues.
You accept that my decision making is slightly more skew-if than normal. But I'm glad to see you're all right. I'm so glad to. You okay with the shovel? Do you need a hand?
No, I'm all good.
Good.
Not my first time with a shovel.
No. We've so Solomon wants a word. Also, we're getting paid. Back pay for the
I
work.
hope so.
Well, quite.
You're right, Solomon.
I'm fine, thank you very much, Udric. Would one of you mind giving Udric his coin?
Because listeners here has handed the coins over.
200 gold you may add to your inventory.
Not 2,000, not 2 million.
But listeners, you just have to guess everything while we play charades.
Yeah, cheers very much.
That's all right. I have a request for the three of you, please. If you
You
wouldn't.
have an apology
if you don't
first.
mind. I am incredibly sorry for what happened last night, and for the part that I've played in events that have happened since each of your individual arrivals here to the mercenary company, and it is my plan to be more forthcoming with information as and when I am able to give that information to you. And any new information that I gain, I will come to all of you with it straight away.
It also seems the truce is off the table, so if the Reavers try and cause trouble, we're allowed to kick them now. So,
Yeah. I mean, just sorry would have sufficed, but I appreciate the detail.
I thought it would. Sorry did not do it justice. I needed to explain what my word left Josh's face. What my how I would be looking to rectify my mistakes. Reparations, yes, thank you. Old man memory. My request that I have is when you're all together, please keep an eye on both Elodie and Peripatea, as well as yourself, Hera.
Weirdly sexist of you, Mr. Solomon, but
that is not my intention at all. It is just due down to circumstance.
Right.
Looks around. I will need to... There is something that I need to tell you, but I need to tell you when there are no other ears around. If you'd like to all come back downstairs, I can tell you in a private place.
Kind of like...
I wanted to make sure that Udrik was included in this.
I feel like, yes.
Udrik's skills will be incredibly useful.
Just a soldier, but
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
right,
we're doing violence, it seems. So
it's not violence, no.
Oh, we know.
It could end in it. I don't know what your... Please come with me. I don't want to be cryptic anymore. This come downstairs.
But we need to go into the cryptic
We need to go into the cryptic place.
I demand more charades. We're doing it through the medium of modern dance.
This old man just wiggling. We're like, oh.
He's going to give him some ribbons to twirl.
3 words. First word, death.
He leads you back down into the vault, opens the vault out, you all go into it. Udrik, this is the first time that you've seen inside of here, so I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yay. I rolled a 19.
19, you're fine. You don't take any damage from it, and you can freely come through here as you wish.
I mean, can I see the field? Like, is it anything like an aura?
Yeah, it's like as it opens, nobody else can see it, but yes, with your ability to see auras, you can see that there looks to be like lightning, but almost like a mesh, but it looks like a mesh net going across this entire door frame. Only you can see that.
I think that'll be it then. I see it and I wait for the right moment to walk through.
Yeah, and you walk through. You feel a little bit of resistance, but you get through it perfectly fine without taking any damage, and the door shuts behind. I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure that Udrik was included in this conversation, but we touched on it briefly that the sevens, there are, I will just explain again for your knowledge, Udrik, that there are 7 seals that are needed to open a door within the temple that the Reavers currently control up at the top of the mountain.
Sounds about right.
Kimdak believes that those 7 seals are needed to open the first door, but that is not correct. There is something else that is needed for those doors. A large abundance of aether, which is why he wanted the bear cubs, who are with you currently.
Always.
He wanted the large amount of aether, which coming from a natural source like these 2 bear cubs, rather than a mutated force, holds more potency. So he would have drawn their aether from them, which, because it's tied to their life force, would have killed them, and then would have used that to open the door. So we've cut him off from that source. For the moment, there are other ways, as we've discovered with the mutated rats in the cell in underground. There are other ways for him to get that aether. He also requires 4 different blood types in order to get in. He requires the blood from 2 angel blessed, 2 fiend fallen, and 1 that stands between. This is why that I need you to keep an eye on Hera, Elodie, and Perry.
Huh.
I don't quite know what the significance is with Elodie. From what I've seen, she has been branded by the cult that is working with the Reavers. So therefore she holds some sort of significance to them, although I don't quite understand what yet.
Okay, so don't
Hera
let me
is
steal the blood.
Hera is a fiend fallen, so her blood could be used to open the door. And I don't feel that I need to explain this, but Perry fits the description of the one who stands between very well. Again, I cannot be sure though. But I would just appreciate, and I will say this to them as well, but I would just appreciate for everyone to keep an eye on them.
When you're talking about an amount of blood, are we talking a prick of the finger or are we talking in a complete drain?
I would hope it would be a prick of the finger. There is part of me that does not remember exactly what it is that is needed, but I feel that it might be a lot more than that. I will say that Solomon already has an angel, not Solomon, I'm Solomon. Kimdak already has an angel blessed that he's holding captive.
Oh.
So he has part of the ritual ready.
I feel like this should have come up earlier.
Again, it was something that I was unsure of until confirmation yesterday. And Solomon doesn't know how to get through the first door. So why he has an angel blessed, I don't actually know. This is information that I have sent others to go and get. This is where Greta has gone. Greta has gone to receive that information as to why he has an angel blessed and where this angel blessed come from.
Surely the angel blessed would be the best person to ask about this.
Yes, but would need to get them out of the main camp in order to do that, which is heavily fortified and requires people with a certain knack for stealth. Greta's team are good at that.
I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned, I feel bad asking this without them here, but since it came up, something went wrong and you guys decided that Perry had to be dealt with. Whose idea was that to make it a final decision?
It was not so much that a final decision had to be made. It was more, and I don't mean for this to come across as crass or sarcastic or anything like that at all, but Perry had transformed into a massive rampaging dragon that not only threatened the lives of her companions that were with her, with them, but also the entire town below. An aether-fueled mutated dragon that would have been utter pain for Perry. They would have felt everybody that they would have hurt. They would have felt that and not had any control over it. They would have destroyed countless villages, towns, killed hundreds, maybe thousands of people. It was a split-second decision that we had to do. It's something that I will need to explain to Perry as well.
Fair enough. I'm working on a theory, but again, without Perry here, it's a bit rude to carry on speculating.
It's understandable.
Okay. No, fine. We'll keep an eye on the others. Wait, I'm sorry that we don't seem to have magic blood, but I'm sure we're special in our own unique ways. Okay.
You're very
I've got
special.
no idea.
Yeah. Just two very tired guys. All right. No. Well, again, appreciated. That's big news, but yeah,
But-
no.
Just, we don't... The Reavers will take some time to recuperate, so please do the same. Just be vigilant, is all I ask.
And don't get kidnapped. No, good
Basically.
life advice.
If you guys follow me around, you will be feet first inside. Actually, feet first is too nice. Head first inside a barrel, given to the drowners.
I've spent enough time with the drowners. I don't want to do that again. No, personally, I know you can take care of yourself, but it's no shame to know that we've got your back.
Someone to hold Sunny while I go take care of business.
Sure.
Waves his hand and the vault begins to open again. I'm sorry to have to drag you all down here again to say this, but please feel free to go about your day. And if you have any other questions that you'd like me to answer about anything, please do come and knock.
We should.
What was the job?
Oh no, I'm speculating that we should deal with the drowners anyway.
I mean, it's not bad, sort of.
Drowners is a difficult situation to deal with because they are around the entire continent.
Yeah, I just want that one beach. Anyway, Udric, you were saying.
I was just wondering what that job you was talking about, the one you needed a soldier for.
Protection,
Oh, I see. Security detail.
basically, yes.
But not too much, because otherwise we end up in a battle. So, stealth.
Looking out for each other is what I'm asking for.
Sure.
You've all been thrown together rather quickly. I would just ask that you look out for each other in the days to come.
Well, we might as well also find out if there's anything else we need to do for the town. We got the job board burnt, but I'm sure there's other stuff we can.
Tomorrow, Tally is not allowed to do anything but organise herself this morning, and then she's taking the afternoon off.
Sounds good.
I'm glad she's taking the afternoon off.
I only had to bully her a little.
Good.
Sure. Bram, you haven't slept.
No. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah. I'll go. I assume, considering that half of us didn't go use the rooms, I suppose there will be spare rooms that aren't full of children. Yeah. No, I'll.
Do you mind if I try? He's kind of looking at his hand and thinking back to the healer that he met earlier. He bends down, like he's been patting the bear cubs since we mentioned the kind of the power within them, and just trying to make sure that they were soothed. And as he kind of stands back up from bending down, his hands kind of covered in bear fur, and he kind of do you mind if I just try? And he reaches forward, and he's concentrating on trying to pass some of the energy from the bears to you. Casting hibernation. So hibernation, I hum a soothing melody, discard a bit of bear fur, and it induces a soporific healing state in the next creature I touch. So I will literally just kind of close Brahm's eyes and could you roll a d6? You can obviously resist this if you wish to.
No, I mean, he's in 4.
4. You fall asleep for 40 minutes and you regain 4 HP.
So Bram's like, sure. Thump. Just
Udric's waiting for it and will kind of catch you as well.
Yeah. I just fall into my pseudo-dad's arms. Just slowly. Again, Bram's bulky, but Bram's like surprised because he's got the elven blood. He's surprisingly light. A lot of people have picked Bram up, all pushed him around. So yeah, down he goes.
Yeah. Are you putting into my world that elves have got hollow bones?
Yes, we're like birds. That's why we're so.
Damn you, Tom.
Why there's some extras.
Collaborative world building.
Oh, he's a wild elf. It's slightly, things from the wild affect you. Cool. So I'm going to have
I don't know if that's going to do anything for your sleepiness, but you fall asleep instantly for 40 minutes.
I think
That is a short rest.
Yes.
That is a short rest.
I will allow that to be a short rest. It won't get rid of your point of exhaustion, but it will allow you to heal a little bit.
I will. So that's 4 extra HP, right?
4 extra HP, and I guess if we're counting it as a short rest, whatever you wish to roll.
Beautiful. I'll roll my dice. 14, and that does now take me over my. Yeah, I'm back fully healed. Not still exhausted, but I'm just. Again, it could. This is probably like the first time in ages Bram's like properly slept. He's a very shallow sleeper, and now this is just complete unconsciousness. Yeah.
Well, I was going to go to the smithy, and he said he had some stuff to go there, but I guess we're just going to sit here.
Oh no, he's completely out. We'll kind of fire and lift him. Let's go to the smithy.
Why don't... Or we could just go and maybe help clear some rubble until he wakes up.
Sure.
You just put Bram in the back of a cart, and then just like, oh no, the cart's gone. We lost our fighter.
Okay, so you go back upstairs, put Bram into the back of the cart. Cart rolls down the hill and into the sea.
I'll re-roll a character.
The two of you can spend the next 40 or so minutes clearing away more of the debris. Rodney will provide everybody with food and drink. Solomon doesn't reappear. He goes back down. He stays downstairs, and the vault shuts after you all leave because he's getting some rest of his own. And after the 40 minutes, Bram, you awaken with your hat over your face.
Dreamless sleep, no problems.
Dreamless sleep, no problems or anything.
Good.
You wake up to Hawthorne sitting on your chest with her head tilted.
Afternoon.
That was boring.
I'm sorry. In all honesty, I did not expect to be knocked out there.
Well, normally I can get in there and have a little root around while you're dreaming, but
interesting.
Your friend did something to stop me from getting in there.
Oh,
I don't know what that was.
That's.
I didn't like it.
No. I suppose you weren't. Did I miss anything exciting?
I just watched them move some stuff around. It was a bit boring, really.
Yeah. I'll be honestly, between me and you, Hawthorne, a little bit sad I don't seem to have magic blood. I was kind of hoping that, it'd be lovely to know that I was like the lock for an ancient. Whatever we've got, that's something different, right? I'm not an in-betweener or angel folk or whatever that is. Fair enough. You keep your secrets.
I've got nothing to say to that because what you just said sounded like absolute nonsense.
No, probably. Huh, interesting.
Disappears like the Cheshire Cat.
Absolute queen. Right.
Have a layer of progressively smaller things like you might do on a cat that's sleeping. They've just been stacked on top of you.
I think with very little dexterity, you hear the clatter of things. Like, hey, hello. Right, thanks for Udric. That was actually probably the best. Looks at the sky. Hour to. I haven't slept like that in a while. I appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me test it out.
It's good. It's good to know, especially you can. I'm allergic to bear. I don't know, but whatever that was, whatever the magic. No, that was nice.
I mean, I'm going to double check that you're not allergic to bears now. You do realize that.
Yeah.
Start ritual casting to check if Bram's got any allergies.
Should we say that you're walking to the blacksmith while you're doing that?
Sure.
Yeah. You begin to cast detect poison and disease, because an allergy is a disease, isn't it? Really. So, does Bram have any allergies?
I think he can't eat certain.
Other than to life.
Yeah, I think there's certain types of nuts that give him like a bit of an itchy throat, but I don't think. No, he doesn't have. He's not lactose intolerant. I don't think. I think he can have penicillin, whatever. Willow bark. No, yeah, very mild allergic reactions to stuff.
I cannot say what I was going to say, so I will not say
Willow,
it.
Willow bark? Was that
No,
an issue?
I was not going to say that. No, don't worry.
Filth.
It was incredibly inappropriate and a level of my humour that I don't think anybody is prepared for.
Well, yeah, just.
I'm not saying it.
Well, thank you. No, yes. Apart from that, I also think that using that, I think Bram also goes, yeah, no, and that's supposedly the thing, like with aether poisoning, that it either makes you like incredibly powerful, or it can like corrupt you, or can make something you love. It like makes you. I won't say anathema, like if you love cake, it makes you unable to eat cake, so like it transforms you. So that's what that purple stuff is.
Oh yeah, I've come into contact with that myself.
Yeah,
makes you allergic to things you love.
Well, glad that if that's what your ability there is, that I'm not allergic to sleep. I suppose. I don't know if I love it. Don't know what I love. Interesting. We're learning a lot. Blacksmith. Just like he's also a little bit awkward because like they saw me sleeping. It's like, to be fair, I think both of these people have seen me in my pajamas, so I'm just like, having a midday nap. Oh.
Yeah, and you've both seen Udric out of his pajamas.
It's true. It's very true.
Being siphoned off these bears, and I'm just trying to work out still how can I eat it, because apparently that's all Hero wants to do with this.
Eat the bears?
No, the ether.
You want to eat the ether, yeah.
No, I remember the first reaction to this ether being when it was first created by biology, going, how do I consume that?
Please don't. That's not something I want to have to deal with.
Look, everything in the world is edible. Some are edible more than once. Yeah.
I just think that it would have fun and interesting consequences.
It's the risk of any D&D game of what happens if I put this in my mouth. You're like,
it would definitely have consequences. Whether they are fun or interesting is to be seen. Anyway, you get to the outside of the blacksmith.
What's it called?
It's called the Hammer and Anvil.
Who runs it?
A short dwarven woman with blonde hair, Lisa red hair, blonde hair, called Ingrid.
What colour's her aura?
Her aura is yellow and orange.
What's she allergic to?
Yeah, I've still got it up.
Does she go to the book club?
She does not go to the book club, but she does have a mild coconut allergy.
Oh.
Does she know about it?
Yes, and she has an embarrassing story about that, but yeah.
Oh.
If it's still up, Hera is very intolerant to dairy in pretty much most forms. Cannot consume it. It's a problem.
That's fair. But yes, you enter inside and you can see there's an orc gentleman behind the counter near one of the furnaces, who's currently hammering away at some metal that is currently superheated. You can see there is two smaller humans walking around who are bringing weapons out the back, so picking weapons out of the weapon holders and taking them out the back. And stood behind the counter, Probably on a oh no, because I said that there was a lower section. So stood behind the lower section of the counter is this dwarf woman with blonde hair, very lots of soot all over her face, wearing an apron and everything. She's like, oh, hello, it's, good to see you all. Welcome to the Hammer and Anvil. What can I do for you today?
Hello. What do you think? My name's Bram.
Hello, Bram.
Udric here. So we're with Solomon.
A terrible thing that happened to Solomon's that fire last night. It was terrible. I
Yeah.
hope everybody got out okay.
Yes, thank you. We are currently recovering, but
Now, I hear a
Right.
rumor that all gloves are off with the Reavers, right?
yes, but also being aware of playing things smart. But yes, no.
Right. And you say you're all part of Solomon's mercenary company? Yeah?
Yes.
So yeah.
Right. 10% discount for all of you then on weapons. I've been looking to get my hands on them bastards for years.
Well, that's incredibly kind of you. That is indeed why we're here to talk. I'm also, yeah. How I assume as you are a great blacksmith, you're able to deal with more sort of obscure items.
Certainly can try, as long as you're not asking me to make a sword out of wood. It's fine. I don't have that type of material here, I'm afraid.
Again, because I don't think these two necessarily, but Bram does get the. Was it a knife? It was a knife that he found, and then like the sort of nanotech metal.
We got the nanotech stuff, and then a short sword.
Again, sort of like. Again, maybe he's sort of like he's tired a bit of his like common sense is down, but sort of puts it on. I discovered this during adventuring. Do you reckon
This is certainly interesting?
Yeah, I'm wondering. While I would like improved weapon, can I leave this with you to invest? I found it like.
I mean,
Well,
this is some pretty good stuff that you've got right here. I mean, I don't know. Lifts up the morphing thing.
Yeah.
Lifts that up. This seems pretty useless, whatever it is. But
it kind of read my mind. It sort of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Magical.
No. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this thing's interesting. Holds up the short sword with the hole in the hilt. I've seen something like this before, but not in this bad of a condition. I could probably do something with this if you'd like. You say I can keep hold of these?
I'd be interested in seeing if you can make use of them. Yes. No. If you're happy to. Have a
Bear
look.
with me one moment, and you watch as she puts the short sword down on the counter. Right, let me just have a quick look, and you watch as she puts her two hands out, almost like trying to frame trying to get the short sword in a frame, and then you watch as her hands begin to move in almost like a Doctor Strange style, but separately, and you watch as these runes begin appearing in circles around her hands, and then almost like this is very Doctor Strange-esque type magic. She sort of grabs it, puts those runes, sort of crosses her arms, puts one set of ringed runes onto the tip of the blade and the other set down onto the bottom of the hilt. And you watch as the runes flood into the weapon. These runes are orange, and they begin circling around it and sort of cross paths with each other. It's basically like it's doing a 3D scan of it, but with runes. And they circle around, and then the runes that went from the left hand come to the right hand, the one, and vice versa. And then the runes climb back up, go onto her arm like a tattoo, and then sink in. And then she opens her eyes, and you watch as there's two runes in her eyes as they fade away. Right, I can replicate that now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well,
it's the benefit of being a rune master. I can take in the blueprint of a weapon just by scanning it, as it were, or studying it with my runic magic.
So what?
Her Scottish accent went.
It's right. It's because I'm from the West Country. So what? It's just is it magical, or what? What?
The weapon itself is not magical, but it's got a capability in it where if you were to get one of the sort of like magical orbs, a little aether orb, and you were to plop that into the hole that's in the hilt, it would provide it with a magical property. Let me show you. And she disappears out back and comes back in with a box. She opens it up and there's like velvet on the inside, and you can see there's 3 orbs, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. And she's like, pick one.
Well, looks at my scarf. Red.
Red, right, okay. Bear with me one moment. She picks the hilt up of the sword, picks the red orb up, and puts that in the center. As she puts that in the center of the hole, you watch as this red glow emanates from the orb and goes through the little creases that are sort of almost like liquid flowing into sort of like lanes and things that they do, and it goes all the way up the blade. So the blade is now this brilliant or disgustingly rusty metal, but it's got this brilliant red light sort of coursing through it like veins. And she swings it, and as she swings it, you watch this flame ignites all the way along the blade, and then she twists it and it goes out, and the orb falls out into her hand.
Oh.
This is a flame orb, so you can put one of those in one of these weapons, and it will give it a flaming properties. So the damage that you would deal fire damage, basically with the weapon itself. Very rare item. I've not, as I said, I've only ever seen one of these before. I wasn't able to do my runic magic on it, so I can now apply that sort of thing to any of the weapons that you have.
Oh,
if you like.
I mean, looking at the other two, like, I think, as you said, sort of like anything we can do to get ourselves prepared, that would be...
I will say, however, holds the orb up. These orbs have limited charges to them. You can get them recharged, but you need to go to a magical store or a Magitech store to do that. The only magical store that we have here is currently closed, so... if you do it, I would use use them sparingly. Unfortunately, these ones are mine, so I can't actually sell these to you. You would need a Magitech store like Goggle Springs in order to purchase them. That's where you would get those sorts of things from.
Right.
But I'm able to do that. And with this thing, and she looks over it, and she does the same thing again with the scanning of her hands and stuff. And I'm not getting any sort of magical properties or anything from it, so it's dead weight. But the metal, she picks up a piece of it and sort of inspects it. It's a metal that I've never seen before, so I could definitely melt this down and make better weapons.
I mean, anything that can help. Yeah.
Has Udric seen it before?
You could certainly roll me. I'm going to say I'm going to give you the choice of investigation or history.
I just like that
Same
helping
modifier,
unlock stages.
12.
No. No point going into any more detail on that. It's not something you've seen before. I know where you're going with that.
Was it part of the aircraft?
Yeah, no resemblance whatsoever to it. This metal has got a sort of midnight blue sort of look to it. So it's completely different and looks a lot older as well. But I mean, I can definitely melt this stuff down and look to improve your weapons. You have to give me a bit of time to learn the consistencies of it and stuff, but I can definitely do that for you if you'd like.
How many weapons do you think you can make from that?
I don't know. I don't know unless I try.
I mean, I'm happy for you to explore, If we can find more of that stuff, then we can bring it to you.
Yeah, fantastic. Sorry, you look like you want to say something.
Fair enough. Just before you disappear, I want a similar thing with these. So I just give her the ancient longsword and I have described it as a oval metal thing with some sort of button, which I think was actually significant at the time, but I just wrote it down really weirdly.
That's fair. So you put both things on the table. The longsword also had the hole in it as well, didn't it? But it was a broken longsword. And I mean, I can definitely. I've already taken a scan of the short sword, but I could definitely have a little look at maybe repairing this for you if you'd like, and doing it up. Do you have a weapon or anything you want me to improve? I could sort of maybe put the two together.
If I have something I could rent in the meantime, then I can give.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're active adventurers, I've definitely got kit I can give you while this stuff's being repaired. There's no point taking your livelihoods away from you, is there?
Yes, I've got my +1 longsword and the ancient one and my weird oval metal thing, and I'm like, I would like this to be strong.
Right. I've got some ideas. If you're willing to leave all of these with me, I take it longsword is your preferred weapon. Bear with me one. I will just put all of that to one side. I'll get that for you in a moment. What is it I could do for you, my friend, with the hat?
Oh, me.
Yes. Sorry, my name's Ingrid, and your name is?
Bram.
Bram.
Nice to meet you, Ingrid.
Wouldn't be short for Abraham, would it?
Yeah.
Nice. That's what she says.
Really likes lexicography.
21 insight.
She finds it interesting that your name's short for Abraham.
Fair enough. Bram's always had a bit of worry that this town's going to be like, oh, you got our people killed, but everyone seems to be nice to him. No one seems to remember him. That's good. Yeah, he reaches in and he puts his mother's mace on the counter. Yeah, if you could improve that.
Oh, this thing's a piece of beauty. This is a bit similar to that longsword that your friend there just gave me. Amazing. I can definitely get some work. Now, before I do anything with these weapons, what is it you're looking for me to do? Do you I could improve them so they hit harder, or I could put the magical orbs in them. I can do one or the other. I can't do both, unfortunately. Or I could improve them and make them even better. In game terms, what Josh is saying is Ingrid could either improve them to +2 weapons, which means they would then have 2 attunement slots that you can do stuff to them. So you could choose to put 2 of those holes in if you wanted to, or you could choose to, as per the homebrew rules, you could choose to add 2 lots of damage dice to your weapon attack, or you could now just get it improved so it does 1 lot of damage. So it'll still be a +1 weapon, but it'll do an additional damage dice, or will have a hole in it for you to put an orb in game terms.
Wow. Okay.
Can we get back to you on that?
Yeah, maybe we need to come back after having.
I'll let you two think of that, and while you two as players think about what you want your characters to do, she'll look at you, Udric, and you have a quarterstaff, don't you?
Well, so as a soldier, Udric always carried a spear, but I'm pretty certain it would have been burnt up in the fire because he only had his pack with him, which had the gardening gear.
Okay.
So yeah, really, all he's really got at the moment is the like spade, maybe a couple of trowels, that sort of thing.
Well, as for you, my friend, you don't seem to have any weapons on you. Do you have a particular preference?
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably just purchase one of your mundane spears off you because fairly certain that
Mundanes? Excuse me, we don't sell mundane spears here. If you want a decent spear, I'll bloody give you a decent spear, all right?
Oh boy.
No, there's no point in, wasting your good stuff on little old me.
Right. You and I are going to have a problem, all right? If you're going to put yourself down like that, I don't know you from another person down the road, but what I cannot stand is people putting themselves down, all right? Especially somebody who looks as capable as you do. I'm going to give you one of my finest spears, all right?
Sure.
Disappears out back, comes back with...
Technique.
Sorry?
Excellent negotiating.
Pretty much. Comes back with a very finely crafted spear, which, without even having to roll a history check, you recognize as a spear that was used. Not the spear. The spear itself isn't like the exact spear, but it looks like one that would have been used by the higher ranking members of the Aslorian Knights, who are the people that you fought alongside during the Rising. So this is like a general spear.
Hmm.
This is one of my finest, I'd say, creations, but I again used a lot of the blueprints from what the old knights used to have. But you can definitely have this. It's +2. She doesn't say that. It's a very finely crafted spear. It's going to cost you, with the discount, about 180 gold pieces, and it's got the option for it to be altered in any way that you see fit. Game terms, it's a +2 spear with the ability to put 2 attunements on it, but the attunements will cost extra.
Yeah. Right. I never dreamed that I'd have a spear like this. I'm not really high enough rank, you know. But yeah, no, I'll check it.
Fantastic, great. She hands it to you, and then takes it back off of you. Now, is there anything you'd like me to do with it before I give it to you properly? Have you got enough gold for it, or you can come back when you got a bit more?
We'll literally just kind of plonk the bag of gold. Like, he hasn't even counted what Solomon gave him. So, I mean, will that cover it? I don't know.
Pulls the gold opens it out. Right, looks like you got about 200 here, so I'll give you 20 back, just to be fair. You'll need to come back when you got a bit more gold if you want some more upgrades done to it. This is probably one of my finest pieces of gear. But with the equipment extra little bits that your friends have brought along, I could certainly do some pretty nifty upgrades to this when you've got the gold for it. And she hands the spears back to you.
To be fair, you're the one that decided he was getting that. So
he said he liked a spear. I gave him my best spear, and I'm not going to give him a piece of crap.
Just kind of in front of her, just take another 10 gold slowly, and just put.
Please don't upset the blacksmith. There's
She
one
has
thing we
time to stop me. I'm doing it slowly with us.
The one thing that you could have to rely on is your weapons, and that's the last bit. That's the last person we want. Bram also has learnt smithing tools during the night, so has now got a weird appreciation for blacksmithery. He's just like,
It gets him a little closer to coming back and spending more money.
sure, we'll come back and spend this.
She watches you do that, picks the rest of the money up and puts that away. Right. So, have the pair of you decided what it is that you want yet?
Similar sort of like an upgrade that can be used for the magic tech. That would be.
So you want a hole in you want one of the magical holes, yeah, in the hilt.
It's sort of like, again, sort of like having a look at the mace, where it's like, well, it does have the pommel. Well, it does seem like it's a good place to.
I can certainly do that. That shield on your back is rather interesting. Could I borrow that?
Oh yeah, takes the shield off, his sort of like his family shield.
I'm not going to do anything to it. It's just giving me a spark of inspiration. So
do you need to?
No, it's fine. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's just something about it that's giving me a spark of it. You'll see when you come back.
Oh, okay.
And
for the audience, this has Bram's sort of like family seal, which is a lute with like fiery phoenix wings, which his parents are like, cool, I guess we need a mercenary guild thing, and Bram's like, cool. It's very battered from its time in the ocean, but yeah, just an image for you folks. Shows it. Right, cool. Nice.
I've got an idea for that. And then and for yourself, what can I do with your long sword?
Don't make me make decisions.
Can you just give her a long sword like you did with Udric? Like, here, decision out of your hands.
No, it's because I've got the stuff for it. It's just making. Is it gonna be an extra?
Oh, by the way, that's 180 gold pieces for your mace.
Bram pays 180.
I have so much money.
Lucky.
I don't spend it on anything. I don't know how money works, really. I just get given it, and I give it to Tally when she asks me stuff for something,
Yeah.
and that's literally all that happens. Do you want, I can make my own magic sword effects. So I'm going to go for the. Oh, but I want the fancy orb because I think it's cool.
Use the materia. It's always good.
Shh, it's not called that.
Fine. Other magical orbs are available.
Yes, exactly.
Use the gusher.
No.
I'll go and I will upgrade to a +2 and theoretically see if I can wheedle my way into getting a magical orb at a later date.
Okay. Right, so you want to improve the effectiveness of the sword as it currently stands. You don't want the blade sharpened or a little hole put in it for your orbs or anything. That's perfectly fine. That's going to cost you 190 gold pieces, she says with a cheeky smirk on her face.
And fair enough. If it's a way that these two swords could be merged together in order for that to happen, I'll give you 200.
You want both swords merged together? I'll tell you what. You give me 300 gold, and I'll give you something special.
Fair enough. Just going. Is this 300? I do not know how your coinage works.
How much gold do you have?
I have 420.
Oh, okay.
I have so much money.
She actually got paid for her work up to this point.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes, that's more than. I mean, yes, this is more than enough. I'm gonna have to give you some of it back, of course. But yeah, she takes 300 gold off you. Right. So you're gonna have to give me. For this long sword, you're definitely going to have to give me about a week. This is going to be a specialist job that only I can do. For the other two, for the mace, I'd say 3 or 4 days come back and it will be ready. I'll do both at the same time. It's fine. And of course, if at any point my spear friend, if you want anything done to that and got the coin for it, I'll upgrade it for you. Give you a week.
Can I rent a loner as well?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. Ooh.
Oh no, the void's taking me.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not fine. Let's see if we can get to the end.
End in a sec. She basically disappears out, and she will come back with a long sword and a mace. These are both +1 weapons. They look completely different to the ones that you currently have. She does not deal with anything that is not +1, by the way. All of her stuff is finely crafted. She hands those over to you, and
I also take the tag off the one that Greta gave me. I don't put it on the new mace, but I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So
she also gives you a shield as well.
Because I've handed my shield. Okay.
Shield. It's just a basic shield. There's no fancy filigree or anything on it, but
that does its job.
Technically a +1 shield, because again, she doesn't deal in anything that's not +1. So, or finely crafted. So, yeah. So it's better than the shield you currently have.
Yeah, upgrade.
But yes, and I think as we've had that little bit of a shopping bit at the end, I think that is a good place for us to end today's session, as Udric now has a +2 spear, and both Hira and Bram are getting gear upgraded. So when they come back in a few days' time or a week's time, we will see what those weapons look like. Yes, Talia?
Can I just add a bit of an epilogue to the day?
You can, yes.
So Bram goes and has his nap.
Yes.
When he wakes up, he's going to join us because I'm going to make him for lovely afternoon lunch in the gardens. Spend some time with Tally and Lila and such.
Yes, perfect point. What I will say as an end point to the episode, Bram will go for his sleep. While Bram is going for his sleep, Tally will grab Hira and Sunny, and both of you will go to the gardens. Lila was not interested in going. Sort of decided to stay in the tavern room. Udric, you can go as well if you'd like to tend to the garden. Miss Faction is not there, so you don't have to worry about that.
I figured she wouldn't hang around for hours. So yeah, I think Udric probably would go along.
Yeah, but as you get to as you see the tree with its purple and pink leaves, you do feel that ocarina is in your pocket. It's not like magical or anything, but it's just, you know, when you know something is on you, looking at that tree and what she said to you and the things that you've learned, you feel its presence there. And you tend to your garden while Tally and Hira sit down eating a picnic, and Sunny runs over and gives you a hand with some of the flowers, runs away, comes back, sprays you with some water, runs away again, and you just have a lovely little scene in the upper marketplace of Merkstead outside the Church of Balance. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Tally, did you have it?
Hours.
Did you have something?
I'll put it in the post epilogue setup.
No, say it. I don't want to.
No, it's fine.
No, do it. We want to hear it.
Do it. I don't want anybody to miss anything. If there's something that people want to do, I don't want them to lose out on it.
I think I just, at some point in the evening and the night, then I do also want to canonically get started with researching this bloody amulet.
That's fair.
Now it's on canon that this is happening.
Yes, that's fair. Yep, you can get that started. Is there anything that Bram would do other than sleep?
Imagine if I said, Bram's just sort of like, again, like sitting on the edge of the bed, just really having like a deep think about like what he wants to do. And so I think actually like a little bit of, like talking to Hawthorne and be like, I mean, I don't know necessarily why you brought me back, but saving the world from magic temples, am I up to it?
All will be explained soon, but you're definitely worth it.
Thanks, Your Majesty.
I love it when you call me that.
Bram's just like, oh god, what have I got myself into? He's weirdly, him kind of like leaving the shield and the mace behind is like, right, 3 more days and then I need to leave. Maybe especially I need to talk to Solomon and go, cool, where did you send her? Is it into, do I need to break into Kim Black's thing to go rescue the rest of the party and go find Gret? He's, I think, well, we'll see when we come back. Yeah, he's going to spend the next few days just being of help. You know, I think helping with the building and the carrying, and also helping with the food. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, helping with the food. Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. Yeah. And finally, is there anything that Udric would like to do?
I got to my garden. I've got everything that I need.
Such a dad. Just mug.
Yeah. Anyway, so with all of that, as we close out, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for today's session. We have been Roll Together RPG. You can join us on Mondays and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. UK time for Dungeons & Dragons stuff, and live, I'm just going to call it Talk Together now, for live Talk Togethers.
Yeah, lore together. Lore-y talky to.
Yeah, where we do maybe sometimes do some lore together or other non-D&D games. You can find all of our stuff at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. You can also find us on YouTube and podcasts by searching Roll Together RPG. Thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and a massive thank you to the D20 Club on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. You can join them from as little as 1 of your local currency or 1 goat, which must be sent to Tom. Tom has his uses for them. And they've created us a Discord, they've created us a wiki, they're brilliant. And I think with all of that, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.